Good to work with him because he made it clear he knew that I was shooting his picture not for some stupid fashion magazine, but for my work. And he said that he was doing it for me because he's an artist himself and he understands. I was impressed that Snoop understood, you know, he gave me permission to use the image without scrutiny, without problems. And I'm the same way. Whenever anyone wants to take my photograph, you know, it's like, I understand to sign the model release. You know, that's something that you do. I would like to be remembered for my work, but I don't feel like I have a message. I don't feel like there's anything specific that I want to tell other artists, especially future artists. But I feel that I've set an example. I would like for people to, rather than to judge me by the example I've set, and which for me that means that I've always been true to my own vision and my own instincts, and so this is if I had any advice to offer anyone, it would be to follow your conscience.
The name of the space is John Conley Presents. This is Scott Hug's project. It's been a great experience for me because it's an exhibition that I never would have done on my own. It's not something that I would have thought of, and exposes me to a lot of young artists that I never would have come across.
I'm Scott Hug, and AK48. I put together this bedroom, and I think it all works really well because it's almost like being inside of like a teenager's mind. It's like, you know, just a little bit of confusion there, just trying to absorb the world. A lot of teenagers, like, they have some angst or they want to rebel against all like the rules and regulations. I started K48 in my bedroom as part of my thesis project. My thesis was like in chaos theory, and basically what I was trying to do was like have a lot of varied interests. By working in this medium of a magazine, even though I think it's like an anti-magazine in a way, it's kind of like my weapon or a way to sort of subversively influence people. It's not just something that's trying to sell you a product.
Explosion ain't new to me. I've been into foreskin since puberty.
These are some of my friends in the issue and in the past issues. And this is Aida Rulova. And she's in the new issue. She interviewed Jean Roland. She did a drawing of wolf eyes. This is Ivy Nicholson. And Ivy was in the second issue. I met her through my friend Mattress. And Ivy's pretty legendary. She was a supermodel in the 50s and 60s. And she was in love with Andy Warhol, and she was in the factory, a lot of Warhol's films, and she's also a singer, and yeah, it was a really great interview with her. And then this is Slava, and Slava's a really punk rock Russian, and he's a writer and photographer, and he's also in the show.
I came from Russia. I was born in Siberia in 1974, and I left Russia when I was 21 because I was prosecuted for my writing as a journalist and kind of political and cultural commentator. And I had 3 criminal cases against me because of my writing that was considered inflammatory and pornographic and offensive to a lot of people, and under various charges, pornography and propaganda of violence and sexual perversions, I was kicked out of the country, and I managed to get political asylum in the States 7 years ago, and I've been doing writing since my teenage years. At this point I have 6 books published in Russian. In New York I was really kind of feel isolated for the first 2-3 years before I learned English and before I got a certain circle of friends that I have now. And it was very difficult for me to switch to English right away. So although now I do write in English, I don't write as much. I mean, most of photography became a perfect medium, a perfect genre for me to express myself, and I'm pretty much describing and expressing the same ideas that I've been describing and expressing in my creative writing and journaling. But I was always somehow interested. I'm a very visual person.
You don't know who you're messing with, boy.
Our program is primarily international emerging photographers, although recently we showed a very talented young painter from Austria, Gustav Schmidberger, which we discovered, and we're really happy with his work. He has a really wonderful technique of merging old masters with pop iconography. Michael Meads is the current exhibition at the gallery. He's a photographer from New Orleans who has been photographing teenagers in the southern town of East Aboga for the last 20 years. It's a somewhat documentary series. Michael Meads captured the young men in their natural settings, highlighting the natural violence as well as the beauty of the subjects, kind of raw, somewhat homoerotic feel. They're kind of showing off their beauty, their physique, as well as their gun collection. We present public projects, which are artists who are mid-career, who have a somewhat social message in their work. We use the neighborhood outside the gallery walls. The projects have dealt with issues of global warming. That was a project that was done by Peter Fenn, which was quite effective, juxtaposing the Exxon station, using their corporate logos saying global warming. Our next project is going to be a young art fair called SCO.
You don't know who you're messing with, boy.
It's a really interesting way of presenting art. It takes off the commercial edge. And we're really excited about our next installation, which is going to be in March.